Welcome back, everyone. It's the Aces NBA show powered by PointsBet, and we are joined by New York's finest, Pistols, Pete Hooley, and the Mavs finest over here, the Knicks super fan. He'll be running around Burke Street or whatever. I think he's forgotten about it.
I thought. I was hoping you guys forgot.
King's birthday weekend, there'll be that much traffic. I think we do it Monday. But, boys, we're just not going to muck around. We're going to get straight into it. We're going to preview the Paul George finals. And speaking of, let's just revisit the Paul George trade off the top. It's the worst trade you'll ever see. I've got it in front of me, even for both sides. So Bonus got traded to the Pacers involved there, but let's just stay with OKC. To think that a young SGA, who, if you go back and watch the tape,
he was good.
He looks the same. He looks the same. 5 first-rounders as well, and there's more in there. I think Gallinari, a couple of pick swaps. But let's just MVP SGA, 5 first-rounders. It's the stinkiest trade in history of any sport, in my opinion.
It hurts more now because we know what SGA became. But as you said, if you actually go back and watch him as a Clippers guy, he was still very, very good. Like, you couldn't probably predict he would be an MVP this soon, but you had to see the trajectory that he was on, that he was going to be a stud.
Well, Doc Rivers went on record to say that was the part of the deal that he was the most disappointed with. He didn't want to lose SJ. He could see it. He was the coach. He was filthy about it.
It's wild, though. But you just look at how many... Now, again, Mikal Bridges got traded for 5 first-round picks this last offseason. That's outrageous. And again, it doesn't really come until... This is why I love the NBA, because guys keep these receipts and they go and actually match up where these picks landed and who the players actually ended up being. That's where it gets a lot of fun. So we'd have to do that at one stage. But yeah, this is one of the worst trades we've ever seen. And will probably go down as that because of what SGA is... He's still yet to come as well. He's got more MVPs in him.
Do you think this affects Paul George?
Oh, for sure.
When he looks at that bank balance, I don't reckon it affects him too much.
I reckon there's got to be an element of this affecting him. People talk about him more so than the the list manager.
Playoff P who doesn't win playoffs?
He's had a rough go at it. He's had a really rough go at it in the last couple of years. Injuries don't help as well, but yeah, it's fascinating to think of what he could have been at his like superpowers at his peak as well. So
oh well, we could be here all day, but the more you talk about it and think about it, it's bizarre. Let's talk about some housekeeping off the top, because our man Pistols, he works for the NBL, and there's a few rumors flying around that Patty Mills and Joe Ingles are going to return to the NBL. Can you confirm or deny right here on the Aces NBA show?
I hate to do it to all the people, because as much as I'd love to see them return, but it's not going to happen as of right now. As of right now, the word that I have is that the Patty Mills, people haven't spoken to Patty yet. Patty hasn't decided what he's going to do. He's about to have a baby and everything. So he hasn't decided what he wants to do next. He can walk into an NBA like vet minimum role, which I think it's $4 million or something as a vet minimum when you played over 10 years. He can walk into that. Joe, that came out 2 days ago. That was in the papers, that him returning home to Adelaide. He knows the head coach there in Mike Wells. Joe called me laughing, being like, that's just not happening. So as of right now, no, but never say never. Never say never.
Geez, that was an anticlimax. What about Pistol dropping in that he knows big Joe Ingles too? He didn't mind that one?
Yeah, well, he knows a few people. He even knows the list manager of the New York Knicks, who I'm going to dive straight into, because Thibs has been given the arse. He's been given the arse, and I'll give you some stats, boys, before I ask you if it's the right move. Playoff wins for Thibs versus 13 coaches. Thibs, 24, and all other 13 coaches, 7. And he's been given the arse after an Eastern Conference Finals that didn't go his way, but I would have thought one more year was warranted. That's my opinion. I'll throw it over to you, boys. What do you think?
Well, if I was a GM, I'd give him the extra year, because they still owe him $40 million.
Well, maybe Thibs is laughing.
Yeah, maybe. But
it's stiff.
It is stiff. And also, like, everyone gives him a lot of flack about his old school ways of, flogging players for 40 minutes. But also, too, you don't have the cattle. So if you're in a playoff situation and you
can't flog it all night,
but if you look down that roster, my God, it's thinner than someone's hairline over here on the right. There's not much going on.
Hang on. Don't throw rocks in a glass house over there.
You can't be flogging it all night on the court. You have to give these blokes.
It doesn't help in that regard where Mikal Bridges came out a month or two ago and said, like, we need to trust our bench more. Like, he said it does take a toll on you. I thought it was, if they got to a finals, they were never really probably right there. They were still a couple of pieces. Do you think they would have beat OKC? I don't think anyone thinks if they'd got through the Pacers.
Let's be honest. Let's not forget, Boston had all these had a very lucky run to the Eastern Conference Finals. Their defense was non-existent. They were trailing, I think, 75% of their games. And
were
speaking of Mikal
Yeah.
Bridges, they've given away their future for him.
they have.
And they haven't really got him involved in the offense. I think maybe there's a few players that weren't happy with the coach, and I think they like the move.
Well, it's weird though, because in the press conference, Jalen Brunson, he got asked straight away.
He's the main man though.
He's like-
loving
The
it.
ball's in his hand for the whole game.
He's happy. Everything, he gets
If
to do
I'm
what he
dropping
wants.
40 every night, I'm pretty happy. I
I
don't
tell
care who
you
the
what
coach is.
always makes it worse for any coach in any sport. When you've got the full support of the board, when they come out, you know you're gone. Full support, Jalen Brunson, keep him. He was already on the way out. It's tough for sure, but in this industry, in any pro sport, I look at it, there is, in an NBA circuit, there's 29 losers. Only one team can have a successful year. And even if you far exceed expectations, you make it to the playoffs when people thought you weren't. In the end, you have nothing to show for it, right? You don't get trophies or anything for just making the playoffs, making the Final Four. So in the end, I guess they ultimately failed, but I still think it was tough because they are slowly building. I'm probably putting more responsibility on guys like Cat.
Yeah.
We got to talk about Cat. He was non-existent when they needed him at times. He's got a massive contract, which you'll talk about. There's a lot to go now with what happens next. Thibs, I think, is just the beginning of the iceberg now for New York.
Let's talk about Cat's contract. 49 mil, 53 mil, 57 mil, and 61 mil over the next 4 years. What are you doing with Cat?
Jesus. Well, you got to pay him. I'm tipping there's not many teams out there that'll want to pick up that contract.
So that's the funny part. And again, when this trade went down with the Wolves to the Knicks, Wolves fans, everyone's like, what are you doing? But the Wolves front office just saw it. And Bill Simmons was talking about this. They just said, you know what? It's not so much the money. It's just what we've seen from him. And when it gets to the big games, you need to have 1A, 1B absolutely thriving. The Pacers have Halliburton and Siakam have balled out. Chet, SGA, and Jalen, all three of them have balled out. Their Robin, who is Cat, didn't show up enough when it mattered most. And that's why they lost.
And that's probably why Mikal Bridges is filthy, because they're not really, it doesn't seem like they're drawing up enough plays for him. He's a star if he's the main man, or at least Robin, as you said. But
Yeah.
Brunson, tick. Everybody else, you weren't really sure what you were getting.
Ananobi's been injured at times as well. But yeah, it's disappointing. And again, but you mentioned it, the actual stats of how much they were behind. I think they were behind 15 plus in every game in the Boston series, I believe it was. Or whatever the series, they've been behind. That's going to run out eventually in the finals. Sure. It's going to run out eventually. Your luck's going to run out. And the Knicks are done. Geez, it wouldn't have been a fun time in Manhattan.
No, it wouldn't have been. Next coach in line, I want to get your thoughts on this. The next coach in line, is it going to be Mike Brown, the former Kings coach? Is it going to be Michael Malone, the former Nuggets coach? Or Mike Budenholzer, the Suns and Bucks champ coach? Or there's actually a few rumors it might be someone else. But out of those three, before we go to other, is there anyone that you like? Or
Did you say Mike Malone then?
Yep.
Yeah.
You obviously have your ears painted on.
It was the second one. There's three mics there, to be fair.
Yeah, no, I actually do. I like Mike Malone. I feel like he's got a bit of swagger about him too. He's like, when they won the championship, he's got the sunnies on. I feel like he'd fit New York. Like, they're a cool city, big franchise.
Bit of arrogance about
bit of
him.
arrogance. He's pretty cool. And obviously he can coach. He's a championship coach. So
I think he was the last coach too where everyone was like, whoa, did this just happen? So normally when that happens, it's like, where's his next move? Budenholzer is the interesting one here because he got fired from the Suns. He's got 4 years of that massive contract. Now, if he goes and becomes a head coach, that's all gone. So did he just say, you know what, I'm going to wait for the dream team. Maybe it is the Knicks though. Maybe he's like, that's where I think I can succeed and sign a new deal. It'd be the same money, but he can take his time because he's still getting paid until he becomes a head coach again. It's fascinating. It's a lot of money. Just to sit back and be like, I'm going to wait until a certain team. Maybe, I don't think Miami will ever move on from Spoelstra, but maybe there's a team out there he's like, that's my dream scenario. I'm just going to wait.
Well, there's a report coming out that Meta World Peace wants to be a coach of the New York Knicks.
has he coached anywhere?
Have you seen that?
Oh, I think he's coaching I don't know what level it is. He's coaching somewhere, I think.
Awesome.
He's, AAU high school something.
Come on, imagine the front office.
Oh my!
I mean, he's a scary man. You might do the interview. Do you at least? Hey, is it a make or a miss? Not interviewing him.
Well, I don't know if he's officially will put his hand. He's surely not.
I think he's put his hand up.
And
That's the
all
report.
seriousness, pick a coach quick.
Oh, you have to go Mike Malone.
Same.
Yeah.
I like Mike Brown. I think he's a players coach. I know it's a players league, and I reckon he could get them all together. I reckon I actually don't mind the sacking of Thibs, to be honest. I think he's stiff, but I've seen it before with the Pistons, and I reckon they are not far off. And I even heard, I think our man Jeff Teague say all he does is yell. He doesn't really coach or anything. And I know exactly what he's talking about, because if you see these head coaches in all sports, they don't really do much besides just manage and motivate. They're not like your traditional ones. I reckon Mike Brown, He turned the Kings around there for a bit, and then it got a bit weird. I reckon he'd be a good one.
It's a brutal industry, right? Because again, like from the Knicks, Leon Rose, like you've got to make these decisions that you know aren't probably going to be well received by the fan base, the media, all of that. But if you think it's the best interest of like a new voice, like when Mike Malone got fired, we were sitting here being like, whoa, like what happened? The Nuggets were right there. They probably just didn't have enough pieces. But again, you're only going to be judged on the future. And one way or another, you're either going to be a hero or a villain for making that decision. They think that they've maxed out with Thibs, with the roster they have now, with that voice. They want a new voice in there. So yeah, I can't fault him for it. I really can't, because in the end, they didn't win a title, right? So of
course,
is anyone really safe if you don't win a title? No.
It's bold, but New York, they need success. And again, we think he's stiff. Is it the right move? We don't know, but I'm looking forward to seeing who they have as their next coach. Quickly, New York's finest, the Steel King, the Aus-American Aces hub goes tick. Well done. We're going to move on, but I just wanted to give you flowers.
That's all I get.
Well, we're going to keep moving on the show. It was only $3.10. I mean, again, we're responsible. We want some juice. We're not going to Cancun with $3.10.
We have a bit of each. And we were done. Firstly, 5 minutes to go in the third quarter, that was done. That's when you know you're up and about. Yeah, I text you boys, gave me nothing.
Then Bud had 6 steals. You should have just picked him and you would have got all of us to Cancun. We'll have some more of that Cancun fun action later. As you know, PointsBet built different, a bit like our man from New York. Now let's keep moving. Halliburton, was he robbed? Eastern Conference Finals MVP. Siakam wins the award. Hallie kind of got the chest out of the pack.
No,
was ready to make his way to the stage.
He definitely took a step.
Was he robbed?
Oh, robb's a strong word.
Come on, get off the fence, fellas.
He was robbed.
Do you honestly think he was robbed or not?
I honestly do, because like if you look at the points and the rebounds, very similar, but then assists, Hallie blew Siakam out of the water. But the big thing for me is the clutch moments. And that's where Hallie stood up time and time again.
It was one vote. I don't know if 9 people voting's enough.
I don't know about the people voting. I mean, the only vote I looked at was Reggie Miller, and he voted for Hallie.
Yeah,
and you look at all these other analysts, and it's like they probably never played basketball in their life. You know what I mean? I don't mind having an even spread, but when the king, the face of Indiana Pacers votes for Halliburton, that's the vote that should count.
Siakam was very, very good, though.
He was very good, but Halliburton was MVP.
If you take out the stats, when they're so similar in terms of all that, if we remove ourselves and look at it from the whole series, who won them? Like, it's Hallie. Hallie hit the clutch shot. He did all that.
Without game 1 and 2 of Halliburton.
Correct. So that's enough to get him over. He got robbed. That's enough to get him over the edge. And Siakam was very good, but my man took a step. He took a step and got humbled really quick.
I would have taken 5 steps and would have spat on the ground.
I actually didn't even expect. I mean, I didn't want to say I glossed over how good Siakam was, but I had to then, once it happened, I was like, geez, how good was he? I had to go back and have a look. It wasn't fresh in my mind, whereas Halliburton, I was like, dude, he's the one. Plus, with all the overrated shit that was going on, man, you got to reward the guy. Jason Tatum missed out last year.
Yep.
Oh, no, did he win
He won the Eastern Conference, not the finals.
Jaylen Brown.
I think he was thinking he was winning it too. Triple-double.
Oh, it's stiff.
You have to be dead to be stiff.
No, it's not enough, Paul. You got to have more voters. It's either 1 or 20.
Yeah, well,
20 you get.
Or 3. Just get 3 past players that know the game. I think Halliburton is but you know what? It might motivate him for the finals. We'll get to the finals later.
It's not a good matchup.
We've got a few more things to move through here, but the All-Star game is official. It's like they've been listening to the pod. We have USA versus the world. It's exactly what we said as a solution to fix the game. I think Jock even mentioned it as well. Boys, let's move on from this one quickly. I just want you to tell me who is going to win, USA or world?
The world absolutely smacked the USA side.
Really?
Yep.
Smack
them.
Really?
Look at the players they've put up for the USA side. It's LeBron, Curry. It's the same old faces. But look at the world team. Look at the world team.
Very good faces.
No, they are good faces.
Very good faces.
But they're over the hill. But then look at the world team. You've got the 2 guys that are competing for the MVP this year.
I'm with you. The world's going to win.
The last 7 MVPs.
You got 3. I think SGA's in there. Canada.
Their starters will be next year. It'll be SGA, Giannis. Well, Embiid now moved back to play for USA, so I don't actually know where he would fall. Probably USA. Jokic, Luka. So there's 4.
Does Big Lou Dort get in there just to throw his weight around on LeBron?
Absolutely not. It's an all-star game.
I know, but
it's an all-star game.
It's not exactly
Does
flashy.
Lou Dort get in an all-star game?
Big Lou's not
Hang on.
It was just a curl. It was
He's
just
not
a
selling tickets,
curveball.
Lou Dort.
But Lou Dort would lock them up if they really want to win. Hey, they're really competitive. They pick the right side. They need a defender in there. Keep going.
The last 7 MVPs outside the US. That's the answer.
I don't know who the 5th spot would be. I'm trying to think about the 5th spot off the top of my head.
The 5th spot. Who wins?
Yeah, the world. The world win for sure. I think even when you put all those superstars there, but the pride now on the USA side is going to help them be even more competitive. They don't want to lose to the world. as the world is probably more talented right now in terms of the guys we just mentioned with the other guys getting older. So I think the world win.
I'm going to sit on USA. I think they, when they want to win.
Put the team together.
Who's the team?
Edwards is in there with Hallie. Halliburton's in there as
Halliburton's
well.
in your
starting five.
I
all-star.
didn't say starting five. I just said he's in the squad.
give us the
There's
starting-
a squad.
no,
I want the starting five. Halliburton's not there.
That, so I'm not going to give it out. I'll tell you who won't be in there.
I bet you Devin Booker's in it.
Booker would be in there. He put up 40. He put up 40.
Hates Devin Booker.
And Devin Booker would be in there. I love Devin Booker. He just goes missing when you need him. Especially when you got
you
your
need
point.
him in an all-star game.
Yeah, point spread up there, and you got him for 30. He puts up 15.
That's why he hates him.
No, it's because he doesn't score when they need him to.
But you need him to score in an all-star game.
When he's required to score, no, I'm not rattled. I'll go back to it. He's overrated, man. When he's required to score and the Suns need them to win, he doesn't score.
Is he in your all-star game starters?
Yes, he is.
It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense.
It does make sense. Righto, we need to keep moving. The Netflix starting five is elite. I don't know who has the script there, but they've got Halliburton there. They've got SGA. They've got all the boys that are still alive. And,
Season one was elite too. Season one was just a nice little snapshot. We're getting all this kind of behind the scenes. But for them to do that and then both to have this kind of dream run, I don't want to listen to the media saying this is going to be like a boring finals no one will watch. This is some of the most exciting basketball we've seen. Like the way the Pacers are playing, OKC's been the best team all year. Pacers are the hottest team in the East. They've had a run through with all these teams when they've beat at a high level. I'm locked in. I think this is going to be real. I don't think game one will be as fun to watch, but I think this is going to be a longer series than people expect.
Who are the names we've got? So these are the 5 names that are in the Netflix series, if anyone wants to know. Jaylen Brown, Kevin Durant, SGA, Hallie, and James Harden. James Harden's an interesting one, isn't it?
Yeah,
Clippers look good though. Like I'm okay to watch that. I'm a KD. I told you I'm a KD guy, so I'm locked in that too.
Harden will be interesting. Hopefully we get some behind the scenes with him at the strip clubs and the
see if in Atlanta strippers and wonder what he kind of eats.
Is that a different Netflix? You have to have a different Netflix.
shows their home life. So.
That's the R-rated version, is it there? That's the after hours Big Brother type of setup. You used to watch the Big Brother Uncut. You used to be one of those kind of
what
fans.
happened to that?
Jeffrey?
Did you have a Maps Uncut?
No.
You used to love the Uncut Big Brother back in the day, didn't
No.
you? You used to sneak out and turn it on and would you at the volume? You were one of those operators, I reckon.
Train's talking about his childhood, not mine.
Let's keep moving on. I've got the fun facts segment before we dive into our final segment. But boys, some fun facts. Here you go. No player with a podcast remains in the NBA Finals. Can you believe that?
I can actually.
It's very on topic.
I'm trying to. Well, I don't want to say that's obviously technically true, but Halliburton's on the old man in the 3 a lot since JJ Redick left. So I'm going to count that as him being on a podcast. It's not his podcast, but I'm going to count that as being on there. But they're trying to take. That's a shot at Paul George, bro. That's a shot at Paul George.
Oh.
That's what that is. They're continuing, and Draymond. That's a shot at Draymond and Paul George.
Jalen Brunson.
You're right.
And the Knicks, and the Knicks.
Oh, yeah, Brunson.
LeBron.
Yeah.
You're asking the wrong man. The only podcast I listen to, I'm on right now. The NBA show, the greatest podcast on earth.
You love your own work, do you? I don't mind it.
That's what I watch in. That's what I watch in bed at night. Not Big Brother Uncut.
Oh, that's what gets you up and about. What, Pistol's hairline, is it? Oh, let's keep moving, boys. Let's keep moving. Some more fun facts. I've got a question for you. Try guess this quickly.
Is it a fact or a question?
I've got 5 teams that have never made the finals. Can you guess who they are?
Yeah.
Charlotte Hornets.
That's 1.
Wolves.
2.
I'm going to cheat on this because we helped put the run sheet together.
Don't give it. He hasn't seen it.
I will say, you do
No,
it.
get through. Get him
It could be
to
here all
halfway.
night.
I'll go you Clippers. I'll give you the halfway.
3.
No, you go.
Come on, quickly. Just say you don't know and I can read
Philly.
that.
Oh, no, that. Fuck, of course. That's silly.
Don't worry about
Pelicans.
it. The 5 teams that have never made the finals: the Pelicans,
Yep.
the Hornets, the Clippers, the Grizz, and the Timberwolves. Any team there surprise you? Like if there was one.
I thought T-Wolves. I was thinking Garnett era.
Yeah,
I just
Garnett
had it
era.
in
It's
my
fair.
head that-
That's probably the one that.
Yeah.
And again, the Clippers have always had this poor run with injuries with Kawhi. They've been like a right there as well. So they're probably the main two. Even Memphis, to be honest.
Well, when you see
Memphis
what
is
Clippers
tough.
traded away, you got to think
Yeah.
once the claw kind of starts to get a bit weak.
Yeah. Zebo. I thought the Zebo era of Memphis might have gone
Clippers
close.
is a surprise too because they've had some really good sides.
Yeah.
Griffin, Jordan, Chris Paul, like that team was elite.
Here's
Lob
another
City.
fun fact for you. The last time the Thunder lost at home to an Eastern Conference team was the Pacers.
Oh.
And it was March 12, 2024.
24.
March 2024. They have an unbelievable
real?
run. Yes, that's true.
Read that again.
The last time the Thunder lost at home to an Eastern Conference team was the Pacers 121,
14
111.
months ago. That's outrageous.
They have a serious record against the East.
So what you're telling us is this is going to be a sweep.
Well,
got
I'm
the
not
broom
saying
down.
that yet. I'm giving you some fun
You
facts.
get the broom out, Train.
I never get the broom out because I want this to go deep. Another one is most points ever in an NBA Finals debut. Allen Iverson, 48 points. My question to you is, can SGA break this in game
If the
one?
game stays close enough, yes. I'm worried that OKC might blow him out and he might just rest him in the fourth quarter.
48 points is
That's a lot of
A
points.
lot of free throws.
And also, too, AI's team wasn't as good as this OK team where they spread the points out.
Yeah, they've got enough
AI
guys.
was literally the only
He should have
guy.
asked me if J-Dub could do it because then I'll say yes.
I love it. First finals ever with teams under the luxury tax as well.
Ooh.
Well, that's for
a
now
great
too.
fact.
That's for now as well. OKC is about to enter a different once they have
But
to.
right now,
play.
that's
Leave it the present,
that's
Pistol.
yeah,
pretty
you fair
impressive.
enough, Jeffrey. Fair enough.
That's great management and great drafting.
That is.
Mate, they are the best. Look at the picks they have. They can actually go out and get a splash. I said it last week. I don't think Lou Dort's going to be on the team next year. He's going to have to get paid a bit more. Staying out of luxury tax, so they can actually go and just add a
I
piece.
love Lou Dort.
Do you reckon he demands that much money, but
Oh, mate, have you
I think
seen
it's-
the
I
way he
think-
buries them?
I don't know if he's on
New
20
York,
now or
maybe.
he's asking for 20. Like he'll get paid more than 20. He's so valuable. He's one of the best
money,
defenders
the
in
money
league.
going around the NBA
It's
is
hard
crazy.
to kind of get your head around it when you see what Cat's on. Like when you have 50s and 60 mil, it's like, what's Lou Dort?
The
worth?
money
But
has
even-
gone nuts, though.
Stephen Dort, a 3-and-D guy, demanding 20 to 25 million a year.
He'll be more than that. Have to be.
Yeah,
have to
I
be
think
more
he's
than
on
that.
more than that because obviously teams have
He might be on 20 now then, and he's gone. There's a lot to remember.
Righto, let's get into the NBA game finals 1 and 2. This is big. We have OKC. To be honest, I think they've got the 6th or 7th best record we've ever seen at this point with win-loss throughout
all
the season and postseason. So this is leaning their way. I think they're huge favorites going up against the Indiana Pacers, who have been so impressive. Yes, you might doubt them, but you just never know. You just got to be in it to win it. So, boys, let's break it down. Give me your thoughts on game 1 and 2.
I said before, I think game one's going to get ugly. I think OKC have been waiting for this moment where they got through last year, how good they've been, how deep they are. And I think the Pacers, again, I've been so wrong about the Pacers. So the Pacers probably win by 30. So if I just say it's a blowout one way or another, I'm going to be all right. But yeah, I just think OKC is going to be really ready for this one and turn up the heat defensively. But again, every time we've doubted the Pacers, me especially, they've proved me wrong. So
100%.
we'll see.
When I looked at the matchups, I think there's a big strength for Indiana in the bench. I think this might be unpopular opinion.
Say it.
Unpopular opinion. I think Indiana could have a better bench than OKC.
That's a wild comment.
Okay. Go through the benches?
Yeah. Case
You
in
got Mathurin, Toppin, Thomas Bryant, who was actually good last. No, he was actually really good
Off
last.
one game.
When
Your
you're
man
chasing a
one
three-pointer
game.
and you got Bryant popping 3 in a
One
row.
game.
Your man TJ McConnell.
Stud.
Okay, now you go to OKC's bench.
They haven't used Mathurin much. He was very, very good that last
Why,
game.
man? He's so good.
He just fell out of the rotation
How does,
with
he
Rick
fall out
Carlisle.
of
He's a
how
good
does he
player.
fall out of the rotation?
Well, him and Jarrett Walker, they're their two main picks.
I can see him getting traded, man.
Yes, I think he'll be
I
traded.
just don't think they can keep him
I
because
think
he's going to be
Walker and Mathurin
Yeah.
will be. They've got enough room to go and add another piece. That's why I'm on the Pacers train for the next few years. But then you're going to go Wallace, Joe,
Well, yeah, Wiggins, and obviously Caruso is
Wiggins,
gone.
Caruso, and then
but
other
those two,
Jalen Williams.
I don't think there's much splitting.
Who's
I
got a
think
better bench? It's a great
Indiana's
question.
got a better bench.
Hey, put it in the comments. Anyone watching this on YouTube, let us know who's got a better bench, Pacers or the Thunder. It's a great discussion. We've got more discussions
the
coming.
easiest thing here is then who's better, Caruso or TJ McConnell?
Oh, you got to go
hang
Caruso
on.
because of his defense.
I'm trying to answer
Okay, Caruso is definitely better.
Okay, so
But as a defender, yes. But TJ what he brings is something different to Caruso. So it's like it's a silly argument because they're two completely different players.
Are you sitting on the fence? I was going to see some
I'm not.
splinters in your
I
sprinter.
think you've
I'm
got- I
not
think I'm
sitting on the
getting you
fence.
back.
I think Indiana's got a better bench.
So who's the best player on the bench for OKC? Caruso. And
Who's the defender?
who's the best player on the Pacers bench?
I think there's four that are pretty similar.
Pick
Jeffrey,
one.
I asked one.
Okay, the best one is Toppin.
Oh, so Obi Toppin over Caruso, you would take?
I'm taking the whole bench. I'm not talking about individuals.
I'm trying to get to my point here. I'm going to land this point.
We'll get to it. Get to it.
I don't think there's enough guys better. I think this collective bench unit, we have to get into the
Your
stats. and
argument is
everything.
Caruso's better than Toppin. That's
No,
your argument.
my argument is they've got better players on the bench than they do for
One better player.
You don't think Wallace and Wiggins are better?
I don't think Wiggins is.
Yeah, that's fair.
You guys can argue the bench as much as you'd like, but the bench might not come on, boys. Let's talk about the starting five, okay? It's a great discussion, but I'm going to pull you up now. We're talking about the starters, okay? No one gives a fuck about the bench. All right, I sat on the bench my whole life. No one knows who I am walking down Fremantle. I need you to tell me who's got the better five and what's going to happen in game 1 and 2.
Oh, this isn't close, right? OKC has a way better starting five.
They do.
Yeah, OKC has a way better starting five. They got the MVP. Jalen Williams, who you two are now finally on the train.
We love J-Dub.
Big fan. We had to fire him up and he listened.
That's an absolute fallacy. You two are a joke. So J-Dub's there. Chet. We'll see. Chet's going to be saying some fun matchups here. The one that I'm interested in, though, like Hartenstein and Miles Turner. Now, that's two very different players. Hartenstein's had to bang bodies against other bigs who have been down low so far. Miles Turner's going to sit on the 3 and launch away. What does that mean for the playing style? I don't think we see Hartenstein outside of the starting 5 minutes of each half. I think they play small.
That's a really good point for. I'm looking at the PointsBet app right in front of me with the over under the line and the head to head, which I'll read the odds out in a second. But for when you think about your prop bets, he could be a really good one to take under.
Yeah.
But if the game blows out, he comes on.
He doesn't. He's the starter.
He's a valuable player.
There you go. So you've answered my question. Under.
Yeah. Again, there is a chance he's had a couple of games in the playoffs where they just throw a couple of little dump offs and everything, and he gets 8 to 10 points in the first 4 minutes. But more often than not, he just gets a couple rebounds and then he sits. And I think this is because even when they bring in now Thomas Bryant or whoever off the bench, they're just launching threes, man. The paces of play really, really fast. They play small and from the 3. So I'm with you. I think the Hartenstein unders is decent.
I'm just getting it up as we're talking.
I'm going to guess it's 7.5 his point total.
That's exactly what it is. And his rebound market is 7.5, and you can get under at $1.71. I reckon that's a good bet.
I think it's a good bet too. We haven't added that to the Cancun fund.
Are we declaring this is a...
No, I've
we should
learned
have
better.
one bet every game that we roll our funds over in our little punters club.
That would have been great to do 7 episodes.
Yes,
We just need some funds to start with.
Well,
Don't say that. Don't you reckon would you say that would be the juiciest one that we've got as a little tactic there from what
just
we think
until everybody figures out the way they're going to play, I'm envisioning that they're going to play without Hartenstein on the floor more and roll Chet down to the 5 a bit and play small ball. That's what, based on what I saw last series, I could be wrong and they say, you know what, we just had an advantage having a big body inside. I'm thinking that they're going to play with Hartenstein on the bench a bit more.
I'm also thinking that Lou Dort is going to bash Halliburton. And I think Halliburton's going to really struggle to score. What do you guys think about that?
I agree, and I think the unders for PRA on Hallie is a great bet too because, like you said, I think he is going to struggle to score. He hasn't come up against a defensive unit quite like OKC's, and he'll be a distributor. So he might get a lot of assists, but also too, remember, they've got to hit those shots that he's passing off. So I think Hallie unders PRA is a great bet.
He hasn't had defending groups like this, so he's not going to get a break. So it's going to be Lou Dort to start. Jalen Williams might have a little crack, and he's going to be harassed.
Caruso might be on him. They just keep throwing players.
Wallace, there's no break for him, and I think that will make him tend to be a bit more passive and passing. So this is like, you think on the other side of that, this is big like Siakam, even like Naismith overs too, because they're going to have to score the ball.
Yeah, I was thinking that. Siakam's got to score. Like, I don't know where else they're going to score.
I think it's Miles Turner. I think they're going to...
Chet can handle him.
No, that's what but I think they're going to try and go to him early and often. They'll try and go for... If you like a little first... See what he does. But yeah, I'm interested to see how Halliburton navigates this defensive pressure. He hasn't had... The Knicks couldn't stay in front of a street light, so it doesn't matter what they do. So like, it doesn't... Like, they are the... Honestly, you would have 20.
Well, Mikal Bridges did pick up his defense, but there's just no other support, was there?
One guy, he uses his length and stuff. He's a very good defender.
Good. Yeah,
not good enough.
They're playing 40 minutes. They're absolutely cooked.
Doesn't matter how good.
I like Nembhard for 2 threes. I think
he's due.
Well, but he does put him. If you have a look, he's always left alone. There's a lot of other weapons. They don't leave. He's the 5th option, and if he can hit his first, he generally keeps shooting. I think he went 2 from 5 last game, but he's a guy that can get going. And the other guy, Naismith, I just don't know why he doesn't have more shots. We see that quarter against the Knicks. He's got it in him. I just feel like he needs to do something if they're going to stay in touch with OKC. But hey, I'm interested to see what happens with the bench and the rotation. They can go deep, the paces.
I'm on the juice. I'll tell you what, like you talk about all the pressure and like Lou Dort, I might just start putting all starting 5 of OKC steals.
Oh, you love the steel.
I love the steel
There's the
market.
confidence from the
I
New
love
York
it.
finest.
I love
And
it.
you do have, if anyone out needs to have a look, we do have our American Aces hub
Get on it.
on the PointsBet app. So make sure you check that out.
I'm on a one-game win streak.
We have a good win streak, and we also have our Cancun fun that we'll get to shortly. Anything else on these games before we go around the world? And I bring you a new segment called the $1 Million Defense.
No, I think it's gonna be a very fun series. I think it's gonna go. I think the Pacers are gonna get. The Pacers might get 2 here. Yeah. I'm worried though because I've wrote them off the last 3 series and they've proved me wrong. If I give them 2 games, they might get swept. So I'm really worried.
Why don't you get the broomstick out once more? Because if you get the broomstick right once out of 2, that's all right.
No, because nobody. I say this nobody wants to see a sweep in the finals.
No,
the NBA doesn't want to see a sweep in the finals. I think the Pacers are good enough, deep enough, and they're playing confidently enough to at least get a game.
It'll be fast. It'll be entertaining. And that's what we want. It'll be great. It'll be a great series. Pops Halliburton in the house, waving his flag.
Yeah, he's allowed back now,
He's
isn't
allowed
he?
back.
Pops, that's big. That's big news.
Big.
I'm just trying to think who's going to be the player for the Pacers that goes, wow. Like, is it Matherin's a guy that I think, he can put up 20.
Has to be.
He's gonna have to. It's gonna have to be.
Halliburton's getting clamps. Siakam has to be big, but he's going to have a bit of pressure.
Could be a Nembhard series too.
There always is a player in the finals.
They're small though. Like Jalen Williams. He's guarding Jalen Williams.
Yeah,
well,
true.
we could sit here all day, but as I said, bold predictions. You're going to go with
OKC in 5.
OKC in 5.
OKC in 6. They might just want to bring it back home, and I don't know. Actually, they'll already be at home, won't they?
Start that again.
You're
going to go with that.
No. OKC in 5. Yeah, I think the Pacers will win game 3, and that's about it. All right, boys. Let's go around the world, and in fact, let's go around the league. One of our good segments last week, I enjoyed some of the boys' work. I think our Angel Reese, she went 6 bricks in a row. The boys were cleaning up, but we'll move on to Lou Williams. Lou Williams has gone out this week. I saw a podcast, him talking about him playing drunk and scoring 25 in the 4th. Have you guys seen that? If you haven't, go check it out.
He's hilarious, by the way.
I have seen it. And the best part about that is when he went to Doc Rivers and told him, and Doc's like, mate, I know you just sweat it out. We need you in the 4th.
Yeah.
What's it like? What a legend.
I've heard other people's stories about, the NBA schedule is so nuts. It's probably, calmed down now, obviously it's in the playoffs, but they're landing sometimes 4 a.m. They'll go to their hotel room, sleep a little bit. They've shoot around in the regular season. Some guys just might 12. I need a nightcap. It can lengthen a little bit longer. Roll into the game. I think it happens more often than people think.
It's crazy. Well, the funny thing is, I've got mail that Pistol has in fact done this. He has played blind.
No, not blind. severely hungover. It wasn't in the top leagues. It wasn't in the top. It was. I had a friend's Bucks party, so I went to that. And I actually tried really hard. I was like, I got a game tomorrow night, so I'm just going to be here. There wasn't a massive one. It was dinner. We just went for a couple of drinks after. I just tried to have some water in between each one. All of a sudden, when I got home, I woke up. I was like, shit, I feel terrible. I remember the first layup that I took in the game. I was like, here we go. 10 rows back. And I was like, geez, I'm in a lot of trouble here. I'll go back and have a look to see what I ended up scoring. But I was hurting, and I was like, I'm never doing this again. That was old Pete, though.
That is gold.
That's old Pete.
Young legs, you can get away with it a little bit more.
A lot of them that do talk about it is when they're young. They say when they start, they used to do that.
But you go back to when, I'll go back to college days, or even not so much playing, but when we practice 7 a.m. or whatever, if you've gone out the night before and you're like, geez, I'm probably still cooked here, you have some of the best practices of your life. You're you can't miss. You're just this is unbelievable. That would have been Lou Will, man.
100%. Hey, speaking of around the league, have you seen our man Chet, a.k.a. Cocky's new haircut?
I have.
Have you seen the Cocky?
Let's get it up. Have a look at Cocky's new haircut. That's live from Mykonos, I think.
It's good, Cocky.
No reception in Mykonos, boys. Couldn't get a video.
He won't get back to the boys.
Get a paparazzi pic there.
Jeez, that's shocking. That is shocking.
I don't mind it. I'd love for Chet to roll that out.
I like it too.
For real though,
you're a bit jealous, aren't you?
Mate, I can't do anything about it. I can't do anything about it now. I'm going down. I've succumbed to the fact that I'm turning into Caruso.
Oh, this has been fun. Let's keep moving. $1 million defense. This is where you get in the comments. Tell us what you think. You've got 4 players. This is the rules. You've got 1 possession and you need 1 stop. If you have 1 stop, you win $1 million. Which player are you going to pick? TJ McConnell, Andrew Nembhard, Isaiah Joe, or Lou Dort? Which player out of those 4 do you think you can stop just once for $1 million?
Now, stop is that they just have to miss, right?
Yeah, they're going to miss the shots. That's a stop.
Yeah.
I'm taking Lou Dort.
Oh.
And the reason is...
He is putting you in the blender.
Hang on. The reason why I'm stopping Lou Dort. Hang on.
I can actually visualize a blender and Jeffrey just getting absolutely cooked.
He's not great off the dribble. Are you saying he's good off the dribble?
Mate, he is that strong. He'll take one dribble and you'll be.
Like if he tries to back me down, I can match him in the strength department.
You will be in the concessions. You'd be just getting popcorn.
Mate, he's throwing Halliburton around
Honestly, I don't think he's great. He's not great off the dribble, and he's not a great shooter.
If one hit, you'd be on the floor. He's laying it up.
Who are you picking then?
Well, since it's one stop and one miss, I might have already done it. We played Philly, and I played on TJ McConnell, and I checked.
Hang on.
I might have already done it.
We're talking about presently.
I'm just saying. He went 3 of 6. I have to go back in. I know I fouled JJ Redick on a 4-point play, which was a pain. But when we played Philadelphia, TJ McConnell was the backup point guard. I checked the stats prior. He was 3 of 6. Now, he may have missed one of those with me in the vicinity. I'm not stopping him now, though. I'm not getting close.
It's amazing. So what's it like playing against JJ Redick just on this?
Well, so he was one of my idols growing up as well. So that was like when we got to go over there to play Philly, I was like, geez, this is unbelievable just to match up on him. They had Ben Simmons in his prime. Embiid was there as well. Chris Golding, who?
Ben who?
Stiff. Chris Golding had 19 in the first half, and then Embiid in a preseason game sat on him on a fast break layup and cooked his knee. I was like, this is ridiculous.
Oh, wow.
But no, it's unreal, man. It's just like just as someone who's like was never going to be one of the big dogs, top stars, whatever. I was just in awe of like, geez, I'm on an NBA court.
That's amazing.
It was cool. I think we lost by 20.
Who cares?
That was the first year. The second year we played OKC. We played Russ, Paul George. Carmelo Anthony, their first game all together.
Wow.
That is unbelievable.
We landed, we played round 1. Actually, this was the year before the first game. We played round 1 in Adelaide. We flew straight to OKC. We watched them play the Pacers in a preseason game. We practiced the next day. I broke my ankle.
Oh, shit.
So then the next day we're going in there to play OKC. Paul George comes up and he's like, I'm in crutches and all that. And I'm devastated. And he's like, oh, man, he's like, you'll be all right. Like, I came back from my injury. I was like, mate, your knee was out of your leg. Like, my thing's fine. We lost by 1, though, to OKC that game. And then, we played Philly the next year, lost by 20. We went to play Toronto that same year. It was a 2, and it was the toughest thing ever. We go to Toronto. Kawhi doesn't play. Siakam didn't play. Lowry played. Ibaka played. They smacked us by 40-odd.
Wow.
And they went on to win the title, so we lost to the NBA champions.
Is the main difference just the sheer athleticism and size?
It's nuts. And the court's bigger too, so like they just they can go and just do whatever they want. The court's bigger than like a FIBA court.
How much bigger is it?
It's not a heap, but it's enough when you're out there playing. And again, just like the different rules and all that, but it's it's tough. The Adelaide 36ers went over 3 years ago and beat the Suns. They beat your man Book. Adelaide 36ers.
Book, he picks and chooses.
But no, it's surreal. Again, someone who I was just like, I am who I was as a player, but I was like, this is like something I'll never forget.
That's elite. Can you send some pics in so we can put them up? Let's get some pics up while you're talking. Yeah. That's incredible. I mean, when we bring up blokes like Paul George and all the trades, it's amazing that he's come over, tapped you, and said you'll be right. Like,
Mate, it made me feel like an absolute like softie. I was just like, dude, I've done my ankle here. Like, I'll be right. I came back after 4 months or whatever it was. Like, he had one of the most horrific injuries you've ever seen. Like, when he went down with his knee and it came out, and it was I think it was in a Team USA thing, right? And so I was like, but that is like a young kid. I was like my first year pro. I was like, dude, I'm like, this is unbelievable. This is the greatest game. And it helped me get back to being part of winning a championship. We won a championship that year and all of that mentality. So, those things are cool, man.
That's a great story.
Wow, that's a great story. I love that you shared that. And that's why we have New York's finest on the pod, Ace's NBA show. We don't just get you straight off reality TV or something like that. We get the best. That's a
dig at me.
That's a drive-by, isn't it? Who am I to say?
Technically, you still won too because you're still with.
That's true.
Yeah, so you're a winner. You're a winner.
You are the man. And so you're going to lock up Lou Dort. We've got TJ McConnell.
Oh, he's going to miss.
So you've already got $1 million in your bank account.
Well, based on him just missing.
I'll take Isaiah Joe. I reckon he's got a 3-ball, and I'm just going to get the barrel chest out and see what he's got. He won't get past the barrel, so he's got to take a shot from deep, and I'm just going to pray that it doesn't go in.
To be fair, if this is an outdoor court, the glare from Colgate Sheridan could get in his eyes.
Do you think the agility might be an issue for you?
It would be right now. I haven't changed direction for 3 years.
Isaiah Joe's a bucket, dude.
I reckon he's walking around you like a witch's hat.
Mate, TJ McConnell is that quick. He would go straight past pistols.
Bloody oath he would.
Basically, out of the three of us, I'm the most likely to stop Dort.
Not a chance, bro.
I would have money on everything else but that.
Lou Dort's probably the one I'm not picking because he's too strong.
I honestly reckon I could hold him out.
Oh, get in the comments, everyone watching. Let us know who you would pick out of the 4. TJ McConnell, Andrew Nemard, Isaiah Joe, or Lou Dort. I think Lou Dort has to be the last one. I'd love to know
he
people's
has to be. On Nembard and then the Nembard.
Hey, boys, let's keep working because we ain't get that $1 million after that. All right, it's time for our Cancun Fund. As we know, these NBA finals are about to start. So check out the PointsBet app. We punt with PointsBet. It has the NBA bet tracker and now StatMate insights on the app. But you also get the American Aces Hub where we cook up some multis. We've all got a couple of SGMs, but the Cancun Fund is the one that we want to hit, and it's one with a little bit more juice. And we've all picked a couple of selections. So, boys, I'll just read out our selections.
Read them out.
And you can talk to why you've got them locked in. So I'll start with mine. I've gone with Nembard over 1.53s.
Due, he's very due.
And SGA for 35 points. I think he'll just kick the party off in style. All eyes on the MVP. They're my first 2 selections.
I like them both because Nembard's due. He missed a couple in the last couple of games. And SGA's a stud. Did he?
Yeah, 2 from 5.
Oh, that's even better then. You're on one.
I'm on.
Lock yours away then.
Yeah, I'm locked. You boys?
Read them out.
Well, you got steal and block king. So we've got Chet Holmgren for 2 blocks, and we've got Jalen Williams for 2 steals. Yep. And your man Pascal Siakam, 6 rebounds.
I've got 3 legs.
You've gone with 3, you greedy dog.
You love the rebounds of Siakam.
He wants he wants the premium economy.
Yeah, we're going hard. Go hard or go home, man. I told you, we're going to Cancun here. Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Why those markets?
Siakam, I think, is going to have to get on the glass here because they've got terrific rebounders in OKC, and Miles Turner doesn't rebound. He just sits at the 3. Jalen Williams, I think that they're going to be all over them defensively. He'll get in the lanes, and Chet's, that's the shortest leg on there. I think Chet's like $1.60 for 2 blocks.
Yeah, it's nice. You'd have to think that.
With the braids as well, that's easy.
Yeah. You block one with a braid. And the last 2 remaining there, we have Pascal Siakam over 1.53s and Tyrese Halliburton under 31.5 for points, rebounds, and assists.
Well, Siakam's going to have to shoot 3s if they stand a chance. So, and he's obviously playing really well. Reigning Eastern Conference final, was it MVP?
Yep.
And Hallie under 31.5 PRA. I think, like I mentioned earlier in the pod, he's going to be a facilitator. OKC's defense is too good. I think he's going to get a lot of assists, but I don't think he's going to score much.
There's a lot of juice in a Halliburton, Hartenstein under just those 2 as well.
Yeah, we spoke about it.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
The best thing about game 1 is you can predict to be the coach and have the tactics that you like, and you've already identified one that they'll play a bit smaller and faster. And
we'll see how we go.
Does anyone out there? Do you reckon there's anyone that gives the Pacers a chance
in the series or for game 1?
Game 1.
Yeah, I think game 1.
Could you imagine Pacers just blow out OKC in game 1?
Well. We wouldn't be surprised. They just keep doing it.
Keep doing it. Yeah,
they keep doing it.
I can't see it happening. Well, all those SGMs are on the site, so make sure you check out the PointsBet app. We are powered by PointsBet right here at the Aces NBA show, boys. It's been a fantastic show. The NBA Finals is in full flight tomorrow. I can't wait. It's been good. Have you got anything else for us?
Nah, I'm stoked, man. NBA, this is the best time. I think it's going to be one of the best finals to watch. It's not going to be a sweep, so this should be entertaining.
This is what we wait for all year. 82 games. The finals are finally here. And this is going to be a cracking series, like Pistol said.
I hope the Pacers can just compete, make it close. But everyone that tunes into this podcast, we love your support. Get in the comments. We're really hammering that because we want to see all your thoughts, suggestions, and the things that kind of make you kind of get in the comments. What kind of gets you going? We love it. So we'll bring it up next week on the Aces NBA show. I hope this goes to 7, so we're here longer, boys. But once again, thank you to everyone that tunes in. Hit subscribe, share with a mate that loves basketball, and we'll see you same time next week right here on American Aces. Cheers.
We got a code red. The egg has flown the nest. We have lost Alpha.
Not gonna happen, buddy. Now that's built different, just like the PointsBet app.
This season, check out PointsBet's NBA Bet Tracker. Bet on NBA markets and follow them live in the PointsBet app.
Damn, you're strong.
That was a close one, mate.
PointsBet. Built different.
What are you really gambling with? For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.